Hey, what's up, you guys? My name's Josh. Welcome back to another video. And yeah, it's Godzilla Day, kind of. Yeah, so it's 68 years of Godzilla. So why not? Let's talk about some of the new stuff that's been announced. And you know what? It's been a pretty long time since I've actually done a video Godzilla related. I think the last time I talked about it was with Playmates Toys and their King Ghidorah figure, which I still can't find. But we'll find it one of these. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about some of the new stuff that was not only announced on God on the official Godzilla social media accounts, but then of course there's other stuff as well, such as toys and movie monster series and all that. So why not? Just like the good old days. Remember when I used to talk so much about Godzilla in my old channel? Yeah. Feels good to be back home. So yeah, let's get started with definitely get started with the one thing people's been talking a lot about, and it's the announcement of a new film coming in 2023. I'm sorry, coming specifically November 3rd of 2023. So this is the only preview we got of it, just that little picture. And many people have been speculating as to what that might be and what. Why did my camera turn all? Okay, that was odd. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, yeah, so the picture, right? People's been kind of debating and speculating over what's the picture trying to show. You know what I mean? A lot of people are speculating that it could be Shin Godzilla 2, which I mean, as cool as that would be, I'm not really sure exactly how that's really remotely possible. Some people say that, judging by the picture, I mean, it could possibly be like Rodan, because you know how Rodan got like that weird kind of face going on. He's supposed to be like kind of like a weird pterodactyl type creature, sort of. He's definitely around that range. Also, I'm sorry, I turned different color. I'm orange again. I don't know why. I think it's because every time I show my phone, that's why. Whatever, I don't know. My computer's weird. That's why I don't normally do these live streams that much, because of weird stuff like this. Either the brightness is not good or it's just something else. So anyway, back to Godzilla, right? So that's what people are speculating. Some people are even saying that it might be like a Shin Rodan or something, and I'm like, I mean, well, that could be too. That's a good guess. Not to mention that even recently with Subaraya and Toho worked together and they made Shin Ultraman, which I'm dying for that to come out. I don't know if that'll ever come on like DVD or so. I don't know. I gotta find a way to watch it because it looks really cool. And of course, they made like matte figures of them too. So there you go. Which I unfortunately don't own any, but I'm trying. Don't worry. But another thing to kind of note with the picture is how I don't know, Rodan, he doesn't really have a tail. So you know what I mean? There's kind of that thing kind of going on. So it's like I don't know. That's another reason why people are saying that it might be Shin Godzilla, because he's kind of known for that sort of kind of like messed up kind of look though. And it's hard to really talk about it without talking about the film, Shin Godzilla. It came out a long time ago, back in 2016, and it was a pretty huge deal too. It was like a weird kind of like sort of reboot of the original film, sort of. I say sort of because the whole purpose was that what will happen if Godzilla was mutated now instead of 1954? Because in 1954, he was just an innocent little dinosaur weird creature thing. I don't know. He was like a weird undiscovered species or something, and he got hit with hydra some I can't say. I'm so sorry, you guys. He got nuked. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't exactly nuclear, but obviously a little bit of radiation went in, and we all know how Godzilla was born. I don't think I need to explain too much of the origin of it. The whole point I'm trying to say is that that's basically what Shin Godzilla is, but a little bit more amped up, and it does go for that more cosmic horror idea, especially considering that his skin is all messed up. He got like different forms. His second form, he literally like bleeds and stuff like that, and I always find that so gross, but that is so cool. So you kind of got that going on. And then one of the most infamous things about Shin Godzilla is his tail, how he could like shoot freaking laser and whatever. And it's hard to really describe it, but obviously when you look very closely at the tail, it's pretty obvious. People say it's like a growing organism. It's almost like there's another one of him growing. So that's That's always been it's Shin Godzilla's creative without doubt. No matter what people say about it, Shin Godzilla was kind of revolutionary in a way. It's such an interesting film. Honestly, I would love to review that in the future if I'm being honest. Because don't get me wrong, I've talked many times about doing movie reviews, but I don't know. I think I need to wait a little bit longer for my channel to grow before I'm actually able to do that. Let's be real here. So let's not jump the gun too quick. But the why do I think the Shin Godzilla 2 is a 50-50 chance, right? Because of a couple of things. One, the way that the movie ended, I don't want to say how the movie ended because of spoiler reasons. I'd rather you guys watch it because it truly is an amazing film, and if you love Godzilla in general, you will definitely love Shin Godzilla. But like I say, it's hard to really talk about the possibilities of a second film without explaining what happened at the end of the first one. So I'm gonna give a huge spoiler warning. Although the reason why I'm gonna spoil what happened is because the movie came out a long time ago. So I'm just gonna assume maybe people have seen it by now. It's been a long time, guys. Come on, it's 2022. Let's come on. So long story short, basically, Shin Godzilla he's destroying Tokyo. Everyone's getting screwed over. Countries around the world take notice. America is like, well, if you can't take care of them, we're just gonna nuke them. And then Japan is like, well, you can't really do that. And America's like, yes, we can. So basically, what happened was that there was two possibilities. Either they could kill Shin Godzilla and then risk Tokyo getting infected by radiation, or if it fails, Shin Godzilla could possibly become even stronger. So yeah, there was always that kind of fear going on. So basically, what they ended up doing was, well, like I say, big spoiler. Okay, don't get mad for spoiling the movie, but I'm just gonna say it. Basically, they froze him. That's what they did. He's frozen in place, but he's kind of frozen to where, how do I say it? You've ever seen The Blob? Probably not, so I'll explain that one too. The Blob, whether it's the 1958 version or the 1988 or 1989 version, I'm not really sure which year the remake came out. I want to say 1988, but I'm not too sure. It's a horror movie, obviously, and it's pretty gory, so yeah, it's pretty fun, right? And you know how in that movie the only way to kill or I'm sorry, not kill, to kind of stop the Blob in his tracks by freezing him. Well, here's the thing though. At least in that movie, when they froze the Blob, well, at least there was a possibility that he wouldn't be able to get out. So he's pretty much frozen like that forever, or until you know the ozone layer gets destroyed, and then everyone dies of heat exhaustion. So there you go. I don't know. That's some nightmare stuff right there. So basically, what happened at the end of Shin Godzilla is they froze him. But the thing is, people lived in fear because it wasn't going to last long. They said that they gave like an estimated 3 years before he would come back. So I was like, oh, it's like I see what they did there, obviously. It's kind of like a bitter ending where it's like, yeah, he's defeated, but it's like nothing really got solved. He's like that powerful to where you can't kill him. Tanks can kill him, choppers, missiles, no matter what you do. Obviously, they don't want to take the risk of nuking him. So it made sense to freeze him, but now, he'll still come back. So I'm not sure what the ending is trying to say. I don't know if that was intentionally set up to sequel bait. I don't know. These movies, they're kind of they kind of go they're kind of like that where it's like they end in a certain way, and it's like either you need a sequel or maybe you don't need a sequel for some explanation. And one of the biggest things in the ending was with the tail and the growing organism, where it kind of looks like he was kind of, well, growing. You can see like weird, like people, some weird mutants kind of growing on it. So something big was going to happen. And another reason why I'm not 100% sure about the possibility of Shin Godzilla 2, it's because Shin Godzilla 2 actually was in development at one point. They actually wanted to make another one, but it actually got canceled. Now, I don't really remember exactly what happened. It was a pretty long time ago, if I'm being honest. We're talking like pre-pandemic days, basically, where there was like some discussion, some ideas thrown around. Some people were saying that if Shin Godzilla were to return, those weird little mutants that he was kind of growing at the tip of his tail would actually become like a huge threat. And yeah, even in the first movie itself, you get people kind of going around Tokyo, and they could see like some of his flesh and stuff all over the city. It's like, oh my god, he's like literally infecting this Tokyo, and it's like, wow, that's some true cosmic horror right there. Again, Shin Godzilla is amazing. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Although I did just spoil the ending for you, so I'm very sorry. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, they already tried to make Shin Godzilla too, so and they never went through with it. So, did they change their mind? Will it actually happen? Or is this something else? Is this possibly a Rodan film, a Shin Rodan? It's supposed to be Godzilla related. I mean, one thing that we got to know, the one thing we definitely noticed too about the picture is it kind of looks like a G. You know what I mean? It looks like a letter G. So, for all we know, maybe it's not related to any of those. Maybe it's just another Godzilla film made by Toho, which I think that's perfectly fine. That's great. Listen, just because Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers had the rights to Godzilla and Kong, that doesn't mean that Japan shouldn't make their own versions of Godzilla. They even said it themselves. After Godzilla versus Kong, depending on how the MonsterVerse goes, most likely they're gonna want to go back to making their own films in Japan, which it makes sense, obviously. Not that it really matters because, well, listen, everybody wins because Godzilla vs Kong 2, it's already in development, coming out I think 2024. So okay, there we go. We got to look forward to that. So that's great, a new movie. I think that's fantastic. You know how long it's been since we got a Godzilla movie? Well, it's only been a couple of years, but you get the point. It's like I can only imagine like back in the 60s or 70s when every year there was a new Godzilla film. Damn, can we go back to that era? I love that. Oh, you know what we gotta talk about next? The toys. This is what I really want to talk about too, because you guys know me. I love Godzilla toys. Man, it's been, well, honestly, it hasn't been that long. Actually, it's been like about a month or so. I think, was it a month? No, because I got the Battle Roar Mecha Godzilla finally too, and that was like a couple of weeks ago. I don't think I filmed myself buying it though. I don't think so. For my toy hunts. Yeah, because I remember the last one. Well, besides that one, it was the 1954 Godzilla made by Playmates, obviously. So and the whole Playmates and Bandai situation. I don't know. To me, at this point, I kind of considered both toy lines the exact same because they got the same premise and everything. Not counting the action figures based off of the MonsterVerse, obviously. That's meant to be like its own thing. And I really do hope they continue making more toys, if I'm being honest, because it's a great line, even though it's only based off of like 4 films. I think that's okay, you know. So what we're talking about specifically is not Playmates, but Bandai Japan with their movie Monster series, because they definitely announced a whole bunch of new stuff. So before we do talk about the movie Monster series, let's talk about their SH Monster Arts figure, because they actually did announce Gigan finally, the Showa era 1972 Gigan. And listen, unfortunately, I don't own any SH Monster Arts figures. They're pretty expensive, if I'm being honest with you. Just to buy one, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll get one in the future. I don't know. But I gotta say, this Gigan looks really cool, though. Listen, I love Gigan. I am crazy over him. I don't know why. I think it's just like the whole idea, though. It's like he was one of the many characters that honestly got me into Godzilla to begin with. Because I remember one day my mother was just kind of going through the channel and whatever. She was just channel surfing. That's what you call it. And then she found Godzilla versus Megalon, and literally the first thing was like Godzilla fighting against like a giant cockroach and a giant chicken, and I'm like, what the hell? Because it's like, I know Godzilla's been known for fighting a lot of strange bad guys, but I never actually think they went that far. And in case you're wondering, yeah, Megalon, I mean, I don't know if he's meant to be. I don't think he's meant to be a cockroach. I think he's supposed to be. He's more of a beetle, because I know that Megalon, he's based off of like different bugs. I know a beetle was one of the huge inspirations, but I know that there was another combination too. I don't think it was a cockroach, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. Gigan, obviously, the whole point of Gigan was that he was meant to be more of a. It's like he's a dinosaur, but he's like one of those weird type of dinosaurs where it's like they got like that weird kind of bird aesthetic going on. Because realistically, yeah, many people. Well, I don't know if many people know about this. I'm assuming they should know because it's pretty important for prehistoric history. Dinosaurs, to a certain degree, actually did have fur. It's just really hard to tell. But it's only on like certain dinosaurs and stuff like that. So I'm guessing Gigan was kind of based off of that, because I'm gonna be honest, I always thought he was the chicken. honestly. And hold up, before I continue, can we turn back to regular color? Okay, that's better now. Yeah, I've always thought Gigan was a chicken, so that's hilarious. Speaking of chicken, they on the Godzilla's official YouTube channel, they also got the brand new like Godzilla vs Gigan short film, which was pretty cool. I think it's like 7 minutes long if I remember. It looks interesting though. I think it was based off of like some project that somebody made, and it's cool that they're kind of making it a thing. Not to mention, of course, the movie Monster series also makes toys off of it. And oh my god, those toys, they're so cool. Listen, I'm crazy for Gigan, okay? I want it. But the thing is though, it's a 2-pack, so it's Gigan Rex and Godzilla, and it comes like in a box set. So that's probably gonna be a Godzilla store exclusive, which it's gonna be pretty expensive. And it's gonna be even more expensive if you decide to buy it off of sites like eBay and stuff like that. Only because, well, yeah, there's other places like Hobby Link Japan, but the problem with, sites like that, whenever toys go up, oh, they disappear. Forget about it. Like, because that's kind of the only to go to website when it comes to figures like that in a much more easier manner. Obviously, whenever they put new figures up there, they're going to be sold out no matter what. It's like you can't keep up, so it's unfortunate because they look so cool, but we'll find a way. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'll be very honest with you guys. I've been planning on saving my money to buy like the Hedora figures and all that because listen, Hedora is so cool, and it's like I don't even own one Hedora, so I'm trying to save up some cash because the prices they kind of go on and off. Sometimes he's affordable, something he isn't. I don't know. Listen, you could thank the pandemic for that and inflation. Okay, it's everything's all screwed up at the moment. Well, not even. Who knows when things will go back to normal? Well, they kind of have, but not in the way that people really want it. If that made sense, I mean, if you've been keeping up with like the economy and all that, which it's a mess. Don't get me wrong, it is. So I'm gonna go through my phone because I did post a picture of the figure on my community tab. So I'm gonna scroll through it. How long ago did I announce this? Was it really that long ago? Let me see. Give me that long time ago. Hold up. I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up you guys' time. I want to show it to you. I want to show you guys the figures. So I don't think it'd be fair for me to just talk. You know what I mean? I have to show you guys the figures too. And yeah, I'm shocked. I don't know what happened to it. I can't. Oh, there it is. I found it. Yep. So these are the two figures I was talking to you guys about: the Gigan Rex and the Godzilla figure. Now, like I said, at first I thought they were separate, but they're coming in a 2-pack. From what I've heard. So I don't know how much that's going to cost. I don't really know when it comes out either, unfortunately. But hey, that's not the only Godzilla figures they're going to make. They announced some other stuff too. Varan, the Unbelievable. Finally, he's getting his own figure as well. That's great. Finally, after so many years, it's about time. And honestly, he's like such a weird character. It's hard to even describe it. He's mostly he's like a class. He's like Gorosaurus basically. He's mostly been like in the Showa era of Godzilla, and that was about it. Basically, Varan, he's kind of stuck in that same situation with like Rodan and Mothra when they were first introduced. It was in their own separate films, and it wasn't until years later when they were introduced into the Godzilla universe. So, for an example, Mothra didn't meet Godzilla until 1964. Mothra versus Godzilla. Same goes for Rodan. They both didn't meet until Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which came out in I want to say either 64 or 65. I don't know. I see some places say 1964, but I also see other places that say 1965. So whatever. I don't know. First appearances, right? So whatever. It is what it is. So that's great. Uh, you know. And honestly, Baron, he only appeared in like one movie. One Godzilla movie in particular. Baron had two films. His first appearance, Baron the Unbelievable, that's the name of the movie. And I think that one came out in 1958, if I remember. It's in black and white. I don't think there's a colored version. And in Destroy All Monsters. And that was about it. I don't remember him appearing in anything else, if I'm being honest with you. And I know there were plans on bringing him back, but then they never really did. I think I could be wrong unless I'm confusing it for another kaiju. I think they wanted to bring him back in Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah All Monster All Out Attack, whatever it was called. You know, that weird crazy movie, the one where Godzilla's a ghost, kind of. He got like the spirits of like Japanese soldiers or whatever, and it's Godzilla Reborn. I don't know. It's an obscure movie. I think he was supposed to be in it originally, but then I don't think he was replaced by Baragon. I think Baragon was always meant to be in the film anyway, but I don't know. It's crazy, you know? But it's good to see that he's finally getting at least some recognition. There's only one problem, though. If I believe this is also a Godzilla store exclusive. So actually, let me see. Hold up, because I wrote it down in my notes and everything too. So let me see. Let me see. What do we got? Let me see. Yeah, honestly, they did like so many announcements of like different figures, so it's like I'm trying to keep track of the date and everything. You know, you got like oh, even today. Let me see. Design release on November 3rd as a Godzilla store exclusive. Retro color variants of the original Hedorah and Showa Gigan figures as well. Okay, there you go. More Gigan, more Hedorah. Come on. Yes, you know. Yeah, so he probably is. So just let you guys know, save your money because you never know. You know what I mean? Oh, and of course, it wouldn't be an announcement without a new Godzilla figure, obviously. And yes, they are going to release Godzilla 1984. That's fantastic. Finally, another classic Godzilla figure. I love that. And this is the Heisei. This is the first Heisei Godzilla, technically. Well, some people say it's Godzilla 1989, but I don't know. To me, it's 1984 because that's really what started the whole Heisei era. If I'm being honest, even though technically the film didn't took place in the Heisei era, it was more towards the end of the Showa era. If that made sense, I don't know. That's more of a Japan culture type thing that I don't really know too much about, and I don't want to butcher it either. I'm here to talk about Godzilla stuff, not talk about stuff that I obviously probably wouldn't really understand. So I do apologize. Also, now this one's old. Now this was already announced, but I thought I'd show you guys anyway. They're gonna make a new Mecha Godzilla, the Kiryu, but this one is based off of his first appearance in Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, where he got the ginormous blue cannon on his back. It looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I like that. And because I know they Yes, okay, so if I remember correctly, they did made a version that was based off a Godzilla Tokyo SOS, and it's kind of similar, except the cannon wasn't blue, it was gray, and the blue cannon, it was more of if I remember correctly from the film, it's been a while. I think that one was more of an attachment, while in Godzilla Tokyo SOS, it was like kind of a part of Kiryu, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to kind of explain. The only Mecha Godzilla Kiryu that I have in my collection is the giant 12 or yeah, like the 12-inch version from Bandai. And I also got like the weird tiny 3-inch version, which is based off of the one that I just showed you now. The only difference is that obviously this one is in like the 6 or 7 inch lineup. So you got that going on, and yeah. So well, also known as Mechagodzilla 2002. It's just to kind of help differentiate it. And this figure, Godzilla 1984, is scheduled to be released in December. Okay. Well, not released here in the US, but at least released to where you can buy them online. You know what I mean? So whatever you get your figures from, whether it's easy or hard, listen, you gotta make you just give it a try. You know what I mean? Why not? And of course, did this post did this got put up yet? Let me see. I think so. Did I posted it? Yes, I did. God bless Japan because I found this picture in some store. I'm assuming it's the Godzilla store. I could be wrong. Look at all the variants. Look at all those Hedoras. That breaks my heart. They look so cool. Oh my god! And then you gotta pay like mad money for them online. Man. I mean, that's great. Don't get me wrong. Also, happy birthday, Godzilla. Yeah, that's another thing too. If Godzilla turns 68, right? I gotta make sure. Uh, Everybody Runs, Godzilla, yeah. Yep, 68th celebration. That's fantastic. Oh, word, the ABC News. Okay, that's cool. Oh man, and then of course there's also Shout Factory too. Well, was it Shout Factory? Oh no, Super 7, I'm sorry. Yeah, they also got like their own line of Godzilla toys, which I mean, I'm not caught up, so I can't really say exactly like like what exactly they had before. You know what I mean? I mean, they got a lot of interesting stuff. Don't get me wrong. They got this. I mean, if you're into that, I mean, I'm more of a Bandai movie monster type guy. So personally, that's what I will buy. But that's just my preference. I'm just saying. And those Super 7 figures, I've definitely seen them in places like FYE and stuff like that. So I don't know. Hey, might be your thing. You might be able to get it. Who knows? Yeah. So I guess that's about it. I pretty much covered everything that that I could find. So that's great. All right, so that's about it. That kind of ends it there. So obviously my plans. Let me fix this. Turn back. Okay, good. So my plans did switched up a little bit. They weren't exactly how I was supposed to plan it. I was supposed to do a toy review, which I'm hoping I'm gonna try and do it tomorrow, only because I'm trying to find. I had like the little stand for my phone where I could record. I don't know what I did with that. I gotta look for it. Same goes for like the background with the white sheet or whatever, and my shirt, whatever you want to call it. I gotta find that too, which I'm still having a hard time finding. I don't know where. So I've been mostly like fixing my Marvel Legends to my Ultraman figures. That's what I've been mostly doing lately. So I've been doing like Doom 2 gameplay. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. You know, Basically just to let you guys know I'm good. I'm still around. I'm just saying because I know like I changed so many plans. And yeah, I know people don't particularly like that, so I do apologize. I don't mean to do that. But hey, I'm still around. I'm not gonna go anywhere. Even if video's been like kind of on and off lately, So we'll talk about that. But there's other stuff too that I need to talk about, especially with the whole unboxing videos where I kind of have to stop it for now. I can't really say exactly if I'll do those again, only because, well, I won't say exactly what happened, but all I'm gonna say is that unfortunately I did have one of my packages stolen. So yeah, that's not fun. So yeah. So, but it is what it is. So, yeah, that's unfortunate, but So like to end it on a happy note, I do have plans, of course, I mean, I've been thinking about doing a live Q&A. I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to can't really promise that if I will, but I did put a poll saying if you guys would like me to do it because I would love to answer any type of questions I can. I would like to. It could be my first ever one too because I've never done a live Q&A before. I never have, so that could be good. And I could. There's other stuff too. I still want to talk a little bit more about Marvel Legends too because I know that the whole HasLab Ghost Rider thing didn't end up working out. So that's sad but kind of hilarious at the same time. And what else? Of course, the toy reviews, more gameplay. So we're good. Just gotta catch up with everybody a little bit. Just try to keep things in check because sometimes when you deal with school and work, like when I go to college and stuff like that, it gets hard, especially now when we're getting prepared for like, well, not even, I don't know. I mean, I guess I got like a month or so left of the semester, so I don't know. I don't know. I gotta, you gotta be prepared. That's School is important. That's all I'm gonna say. So until then, hope you guys stay safe out there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave likes and subscribe. For some more stuff. Or dislike the video if you dislike it. And yep, that's about it. See ya.